Our bill will be first.
And is that a state-owned building?
Senate will please come to order.
So more to follow, Will.
Senate will please come to order. Good morning. For today's devotionals, we will be joined by Rabbi Toby Weissman, the Director of Jewish Communities of Vermont. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year. Happy 2024. There's a story about a person who was dying. Everybody in the room with him had given up hope. The Rebbe walked into the room. He took one look at the person who was dying and he declared, "He will live." 2 minutes later, the person left the world. He died. The Rebbe's disciples were confused. They cried out to him, "But Rebbe, you said he would live." The Rebbe replied, "Well, although I knew he was going to die, I wanted to make sure that he really lived for those last few minutes." Well, we all know how hard last year has been. And we are painfully aware of the world facing many crises. There is so much darkness. It is difficult to hold on to hope that life will get better. But we can't give up hope now. We are celebrating the new year. The new year 2024. We are beginning a new legislative session. We are wishing each other a happy new year. And we hope that this year will be better. The name of the Israeli national anthem is Hatikva, which means the hope. This essential hope that things will get better is how the Jewish people have survived for thousands of years and continue not only to survive, but to thrive, even in the midst of an unwanted, horrible war, not only to survive, but to thrive. According to the Jewish tradition, every new month is called Rosh Chodesh, which means the beginning of the month. It is celebrated as a mini Jewish holiday. Our tradition teaches us that just like the moon's light is renewed every month, so is the light of every person, as well as the light of all creation. We are taught that we all have the power to renew our light on the new month. The word Chodesh also means chidush, new, to renew. And the new moon is at first only a sliver of light, but then it grows and grows until it reaches the full moon. And during this upcoming month, called Shvat, which is on next Thursday, we pray for that it will be a good month. We pray this Shabbat, that it will be a good month. And this month has, at the full moon, we have Tu B'Shvat, which is the holiday for the trees, especially for the fruit trees. It's the tree new year, the tree birthday. The moon is full, lighting up the heavens. On the full moon, we feel more hopeful that our light and the light in the world will grow and become stronger and stronger. In the land of Israel, celebrating fruit trees makes more sense because it falls at the end of the rainy season and the trees are actually starting to blossom. But for us here in Vermont, finally facing that bitter cold that we were expecting, how does it make sense to celebrate the tree's birthday? Spring is far off. And the answer, according to Rabbi Menachem Meiri from the 13th century, Tu B'Shvat, the 15th of this month, the tree's birthday, is actually the midpoint between fall and spring. Once the halfway point of winter is passed, winter's strength is weakened, the cold is not as intense, and the budding process begins. So take heart, everybody. Yes, we might be in the middle of winter, and it feels very dark in our world. But the 15th of this new month of Shvat marks a turning point, a time when under all that cold and snow, the sap of the trees is rising, readying for spring. In a sense, on the 15th of this new month of Shvat, it signifies that sometimes it is precisely within the darkness and the coldest moments of our lives that new blossoms burst forth. So I encourage us all to begin today to be like the trees. Let's dig our roots deep into the rich soil and hope and imagine that our sap and positive energy will rise within us and make room for the blossoming of a better world. Let us begin today.
Are there any announcements? Senator from Chittenden Central.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I would move that S79, an act relating to limitations on hospital liens, be recommitted to the Committee on Judiciary. And just a quick explanatory note. The reasoning there is that I believe this bill wound up in another bill last session. And so what popped out of the Rules Committee for missing crossover automatically in January is a duplication of what has already gone through the process. So rather than have it on the calendar, we would ask that it be recommitted to the Committee on Judiciary. Thank you, Mr. President.
Now, the senator from Chittenden Central has moved that S79, appearing on today's calendar for action, be recommitted to the Committee on Judiciary. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and you've recommitted S79 to the Committee on Judiciary. We have a handful of bills for introduction today. First is S216, introduced by Senator Collmore and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S216, an act relating to the governance and transformation of the Vermont State Colleges Corporation.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Education. We have S217, introduced by Senator Vihovsky and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S217, an act relating to excluding medical debt from credit reports.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Judiciary. We have S218, introduced by Senator Westman. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S218, an act relating to the staffing of the Dam Safety Division.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Natural Resources and Energy. We have S219, introduced by Senator Hardy. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S219, an act relating to municipal regulation of private airstrips.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Transportation. Excuse me one moment. I apologize. S219 is referred to Committee on Natural Resources and Energy. We have S220, introduced by Senator Hardy and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S220, an act relating to Vermont's public libraries.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Education. And we have S 221 introduced by Senator Vihovsky and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S 221, an act relating to compensation for the governor and the heads of departments and agencies.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Government Operations. Given that the bill up for action, S 79, has been committed to judiciary, we do not have any orders of the day, in which case I'd refer to the senator from Chittenden Central.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I would move that the Senate stand in adjournment until 9:30 a.m. Tuesday, January 9th. If I might begin the announcements.
You may.
I have two. First of all, thank you to senators for returning those ethics disclosure forms yesterday in good number. We have 25 in hand. By my math, that leaves 5 outstanding. I had asked that folks could do those by end of business today. That still leaves plenty of time. So again, thanks for your participation. Second, I would just put out for scheduling purposes, we will, as we do often, but certainly yearly, we will have sexual harassment prevention training, and we will have discrimination prevention training. The first sexual harassment will be held on January 9th from 2 to 3. If you're a committee chair, we have already sent out, I believe, by email those dates, but we will send another reminder. And then the discrimination prevention training will be January 23rd from 9 to 10 a.m. So with that, Mr. President, I will leave it to others to announce.
Are there other announcements? Senator from Madison.
Thank you. Excuse me, the Government Operations Committee will meet today at 1 o'clock.
Senator from Washington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Finance will meet at 1:30.
Senator from Bennington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Education will meet at 1:30.
Senator from Caledonia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Appropriations being Friday will meet at 1.
Senator from Essex Orleans.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate institutions will meet today at 1.
Senator from Chittenden Central.
I realized I had forgotten one quick announcement. I did announce yesterday that when we received the override for the bottle bill, that we would take it up on the 22nd of January. I thought, because I didn't check with my chief of staff, that that was the Tuesday. That is actually the date for the Monday. So it will be the 23rd, the Tuesday of January. Thank you, Mr. President.
Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, the senator from Chittenden Central has moved that the Senate now stand adjournment until Tuesday, January 9th at 9:30 a.m. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay.
No.
The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it, and the Senate will stand adjourned until Tuesday, January 9th at 9:30.